So whenever you sell a house, what kind of expenses do you have to cover when you're actually doing that? When you buy a property, typically you just use a realtor. There's no real expenses directly that you have to pay for right off the bat. But when you sell a home, it's a little bit different. So what do you have to pay for when you sell a home? First off, one of the things, so when you sell a home, there are a few fees that you do have to pay for and you are in charge of. And first off, at least here in the Midwest, in the Chicagoland area, the way taxes um, are put together is whenever you sell a home, you do have to pay back the taxes that you're going to be basically selling your house in. So, since let's say right now it's 2022, typically the taxes you pay in 2022 are from the year before in 2021. So what that means is let's say you sell your house and you officially sell your house in June of 2022. What you have to pay at closing is you have to pay those 6 months of taxes that you were in the home because technically the new buyer is going to be responsible for those taxes. So when you sell your home, you have to pay back the taxes that you were in your house. So you don't get to live there by property tax free. You do have to pay those back at closing. So that's the first thing that you have to want to make sure that you pay for. After that, some other closing costs are title insurance fees. Whenever you sell your home, the buyer wants to make sure that they're actually taking the home, that there's no liens on it, there's no issues, there's no hidden title issues on the home. So you have to pay for title insurance to make sure when the buyer gets the home, it's free and clear, there's no issues that they're gonna discover down the line. So that's title insurance. There's also transfer taxes. Now, this depends on kind of what county, what town, what city you live in. Every place is a little bit different. But typically you have to pay transfer taxes, which basically means transferring the property to the buyer. You have to pay, a certain amount per the purchase price. After that, there's really only a couple things left. You have to pay a survey, which basically means somebody comes out and gets the dimensions of the property to make sure, hey, this property is exactly what it's being advertised as. This is the lot lines, this is the plot lines. This is exactly what you're getting, right? This is the piece of land measurable, up to date of what you're getting, and every buyer gets this typically when they buy a property in a normal situation, so that they actually know what kind of property they are purchasing and kind of the lines of, okay, exactly where does my property start? Where does it end? I need to know that if I'm going to buy this property. So typically the sellers will pay for that, and they're usually around like 500 bucks. That's probably the one thing that's concrete and that's not adjustable based off the house. And then after that, you do have realtor fees. Typically, at least as of right now, if you're selling a home, you'll have to cover both the seller's realtor, the realtor you use to help market, negotiate, and sell your house, and then you're also going to have to cover the buyer's realtor fee as well. So you're not just paying your own realtor, you're paying your realtor you're working with to market and negotiate on your behalf, and you're also paying the buyer's realtor that's bringing in the buyer who's going to purchase your home. So keep that in mind. You're not just paying for one realtor, you're paying for both fees. So keep that in mind as well. So in summary, when you sell your house, you have to pay for property taxes of how long you were in the home for that year, title insurance to make sure the title is conveyed properly to the buyer, transfer taxes depending on what town, your municipality, whatever you're in, and then of course the survey to make sure, hey, this is how big of a property you're buying and you're selling, whatever it is, and then the fees, the realtor fees as well, to market your home and to find a buyer to actually complete the transaction and actually sell your home. So those are the fees that are involved. And again, that doesn't even include other things such as, let's say you wanted to go above and beyond. You wanted to clean your house. You wanted to stage your house, which means put in furniture to create an image for the buyers when they come in. You could do that too, but those costs are extra, right? They're not really included in this. They're not essential. Those are non-essential expenses when you do buy a home. So keep that in mind, just so you know ahead of time if you're thinking about selling your home, what kind of expenses do you have to deal with? So there's your Monday tip of the day. If you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you guys are having a great week. It's a little bit cloudy today, but hopefully you're going to have an amazing week, and I guess it gets some good daylight in while you can. Hopefully you guys have a good week, and we'll talk soon.